the reason that we say ambassador somewhat derisively, and I don't know that Woody Johnson specifically requested that. It would make it a lot worse if he did. But the fact that there's an environment within the New York Jets organization that would prompt whoever it is that typed up the story yesterday that was posted on the Jets website about the firing of Robert Saleh would refer to him as both chairman in one breath and ambassador in the next breath speaks to the atmosphere. It might just be a little toxic in the workplace when whoever it is that's typing up that story feels compelled to refer to the owner of the team as something he hasn't been for 3.5 years, ambassador. But it's also revealing, Michael, because the last straw for Woody Johnson came in the place where he was the ambassador under the first Trump administration and will be, he expects, I'm told, per sources, again if there's a second one.
Mike, last time we talked, I don't know if it was the last time or a couple of weeks ago, when we talked, we made a reference to quarterback records, and some people aren't into those. I am. I do believe in quarterback records.
I do too.
Generally, if you have a good quarterbacking record, it tends to translate to the field. I think we should keep ownership records too. Keep ownership records because that's revealing to what the problems are in organizations. We spend so much time talking about coaching staffs and front offices. We don't spend enough time talking about owners and how owners can get in the way of production. So Woody Johnson yesterday, journalistically, I'm glad he spoke. But if I'm a Jets person corporately, I'm putting my head in my hands and shaking my head and saying, what a disaster. He told you everything you needed to know. He said, as he tried to get credibility, he said, hey, I've been here for 25 years. I've been here for 25 years. I've done this before. Yes, Woody, you've done it before. What's your record? So not only have they missed the playoffs for 13 straight years, as he's been there, Mike, do you realize they have missed the playoffs 19 times in 25 years? So 75% of the time, the Jets missed the playoffs under Woody Johnson. And so I'm not here to say Robert Saleh was a great coach. I know he wasn't. And I know Nathaniel Hackett is not a great offensive coordinator. And I know there's some flaws on the roster that maybe they didn't see 6 weeks ago. But it's so much bigger. As you said, it's a toxic environment. It starts with the capital A ambassador, Woody Johnson, and then it goes down. You can't overcome it. Most teams cannot overcome an ownership situation like this.
And, Michael, I agree with you completely. I usually do this in January once 6, 7, 8 teams fire their coaches. But the dysfunction with any dysfunctional organization, regardless of which sports league, which industry it is, it starts with the top, especially when the person who's in charge also is the person who owns the place and doesn't answer to a board of directors or shareholders or whatever. These are multi-billion-dollar football operations run as mom-and-pop stores, and the person in charge doesn't have to pass any tests, doesn't have to show any knowledge of business or football or human resources or human nature or anything. All you have to have is either enough money to buy the team or you have to be connected to the person who bequeaths it to you when they die. That's it. That's it. And then you become an owner of a team. And just because you do it for 25 years doesn't mean you're any better at it. Jerry Jones has been GM of the Cowboys for 35 years because he made himself the GM when he bought the team. And his biggest qualification at this point is he's been doing it for 35 years. He was never qualified on the way in. Woody Johnson wasn't qualified on the way in when he decided to buy the Jets. So the dysfunction starts at the top, and it manifests itself in all sorts of different ways. But it does. And we've been talking a lot this season about how the Jets have ruined quarterbacks. Geno Smith, Sam Darnold. Oh, look at how they do when they go somewhere else. Maybe there's hope for Zach Wilson. Maybe there's hope for Christian Hackenberg, for crying out loud. So the Jets ruin a lot of things. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.